and welcome to the latest episode of New Londinium, where we had, last time we were working on redoing our garden and expanding it, actually. Again, this is all temporary infrastructure, but when I say temporary, it's like a really long-term temporary. So I think it's worth the time and effort to put into this to kind of optimize things. And what we did was we basically redid the garden as it was, so that you can see that's all growing nice and thick and everything's hunky-dory there. But it's still not everything I can grow, right? I could still produce a lot more. I have whole crops that I'm not currently growing, so we need to make space for that. And then on top of that, we're going to be building all sorts of different stuff. And as a builder, like a painter, you kind of want to have a very wide palette, right? Like in the painter, you want to have all sorts of different colors so you can express whatever emotion or object or whatever that you want, right? Same thing as a builder. You want to have all different types of wood and stone and other materials so that you can build exactly what you want, when you want, and have it look like you want. And with this particular mod pack, we've got lots of mods, but between vanilla and biomes of plenty, I think we've got something in the neighborhood of like 16 different types of trees, something like that, plus some from the other mods. So we potentially have a fantastic palette for wood. And of course, similar situation with stone, we have blocks that you need, and of course quark and supplementaries, and all these add new stone block types. So we're gonna want all that. But getting back to the garden, I want to set up a space where I can grow the different types of trees so that we can harvest those to get the different types of wood. And that's actually the next step. The one I'm working on right now is just to expand this garden area so we can grow a wider variety of crops. And then related to that, we kind of set up the kitchen, but I wasn't totally satisfied with it. So I'll want to go back in there and set the kitchen up properly, and then we can get out of baked potato hell and start having real food, right? Real food that does real stuff real good. Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, if it's probably not apparent from anything I've said or done recently, but back in the day, I was quite a foodie, right? I still do the lion's share of cooking at home. I used to enjoy it a lot. I still kind of enjoy it. It's a long story behind that, but anyhow, but it's carried over to Minecraft. I mean, I am a sucker for cooking mods, right? And having different foods. My chief complaint about Minecraft is that once food is an important part of Minecraft, it can be a critical part of Minecraft for about 10 minutes. and then once you find a potato or a carrot and you're growing that, you're done, right? At this point, food is an afterthought. It really, does golden apples or whatever would be exception, but the rest of the food is like, yeah, whatever. What's the point, right? And I guess that's one of the things that kind of attracted me to like Vintage Story, where that 10-minute time limit never goes away. Food's critical all the time. Of course, in that case, you have limited cooking options in the vanilla game. They have some mods that expand it, and I haven't been playing with mods, so anyway, speaking of food, it's interesting to see how different games cover food, right? In No Man's Sky, food is really completely optional. It's just like it's a subsystem, and kind of like Minecraft. It was there, and there was, you can take it or leave it. Now they have an ingester type of add-on to your suit that really highlights the effects of different foods. And now if you're into min-maxing, that is an important element to your min-maxing. Food in Icarus is pretty darn important, right? Because the emphasis on there is on survival. And I do give them credit, because not only is food important, but then they kind of go crazy with like all the different types of food you can get, and those foods have serious game implications, right? So not only do you want to make the food, but depending on how you play or what you're doing in a given moment, different foods can make a radical difference in success or failure, and I like that. So, and Enshrouded's also pretty good. Enshrouded food is really important and can really impact what you're doing. So, this kind of gets into my whole interest in Hightail, right? I think Minecraft stopped innovating a long time ago, right? I think, and I don't know the facts, right? I'm not pals with anybody at Mojang or anything, but the rumor has always been that, Mojang wants to do X, Y, and Z, and after they were bought by Microsoft said, no, right? You're not going to do anything radical that might impact the golden goose. And so they've kind of been stuck in limbo with a lot of the things they want to do. And you can kind of see it, right? Minecraft modding community does all sorts of crazy things that keeps the game alive and thriving. Minecraft itself hasn't, and only recently did they change their release schedule and stuff, and the types of releases they do, but I still think it's way too little, way too late, and it's not the type of changes they need to be making. And that's why I was so excited about Hightail, because bring on the change. Change is a given, and it's built in, and it's here to stay. And essentially, Hightail is what I've been saying Minecraft should be all along, which is it is a game, absolutely, but it's a platform as well, right? It's a game and a place for other people to kind of start and build their own games. And I'm not looking to build a game myself. What's exciting to me is all those players out there, all those modders who are going to create games, and I'm excited because essentially you buy one game and you're going to get like dozens of other games for free, right? And that is exciting to me. That is, and you've even seen it, right? The game's released, and I got to say, the game surpassed my expectations up front. But even that said, there's already thousands of mods out there. Now, a lot of those mods aren't great, but many of those mods are great. And it's just kind of a glimpse of the future, right? This thing is going to take off. This is what I always said Minecraft should be. And personally, I think that those guys were relieved when they heard, with Hightail in development hell for a decade, they didn't really feel much pressure. And then when Hightail was canceled, in the fall, I think the pressure was completely off, and they're like, oh, they're patting themselves on the back because they didn't have to do anything. Now, they haven't said anything publicly. At least I don't think they have. But I think behind closed doors, they're probably sweating a little bit because now the pressure's on again, right? Expectations are going to change. And, my expectations were pretty high before, and now my expectations are sky high. And I think that's probably true for a lot of players. So we're going to have to just wait and see how they adapt or react. Anyway, so we've almost got this all set up for crops. Pretty straightforward. Now, normally I would do full fields, right? So what I mean is, you know, it's typical Minecraft field is you can plop down the water and you've got a 9x9 grid around the water that you know it waters, and then you grow your stuff out of that, and that 9x9 grid I would devote to a single crop. Now space is kind of limited here. Plus, the truth is I don't need a bazillion tons of everything. So, oh, look at that. So, you know, I've spent the past several episodes, I don't know if I would I'd say it's complaining or lamenting, but certainly commenting on the fact that I hadn't seen any pillagers in a really long time. Started to think that we're going to be pillager free from this point out, but I can see we're not. I see you too. The problem is we got this bozo in the kitchen, and if I kill the pillager captain, this house is going to get sieged, and I don't want to. I don't want the house to get sieged. This is not where this is not built for sieges. I mean, we could probably take them. I've got all ubered out gear and stuff, but then they're running around in the garden and dealing with the chick. It's just right, and yeah, and this I don't know who this guy. I need to name the guy in the kitchen. He comes and goes. The thing is, when he goes, I don't know where he goes. I have no idea. And I'm assuming it's the same guy, right? So let's throw stuff in here to have the system put it away. Okay, and I didn't realize I must put the grape seeds in there, and I didn't know where to put them, so that's where it puts them. I think it kind of, yes, crimson grape seeds, so kind of fruit seeds, certainly grape seeds, can go here, and then I think everything here is accounted for. So we'll find out. That's my buffer zone for stuff that doesn't have a home anywhere else. That goes there. And then I know that I need to give it a home. Okay, now let's grab... Okay. Let's grab amaranth seeds, yes. Rice, yeah, and sugarcane, yes. Lettuce seeds, I got one, okay. Peanuts, yes. I can't grow that. Tomato seeds, yep. Ghost peppers, warped grape seeds, melon seeds will grab, and gyro berries. I think that probably will fill out the second layer of the garden. Start with the lettuce, and then 1, 2, 3. Amaranth, tomatoes. 1, 2, there we go. Actually, no. If this is the middle part and it has direct access to water, what I need to do is go with that, right? I'm gonna expand the access to water. And this is what we do. What I typically do is, because to grow the rice, you have to grow it in 1 block of water, and to grow the sugar cane, it's got to be next to water. So actually, make it. I think I go this way. And then, so to grow the sugar cane, I grow sugar cane next to the rice. Let's do it this way. So this will give me 2 rows of rice and 4 rows of sugar cane. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to kill the farm plots because sugar cane doesn't grow on farm soil. I'm pretty sure. And there we go. Actually, let me switch to this bucket so that it dies. These wooden buckets have durability, and the more you use them, the more they break. And then I won't have to worry about this wooden bucket anymore. Wow. Talk about convenient. Okay. So now, let me see if I can grow my sugar cane on farm fields. Nope. Okay. So not a problem. We'll just swap out the dirt. I got the dirt. Okay. Very nice. Very, very nice. So I gotta tell you, I don't know why I'm so happy. Really. I mean, I am in a really good mood. Yet, the IRS came back and said there was a problem for 2023 return and that we might owe $13,000, and I'm working through that. That's a pain. And I'm still jobless and my unemployment benefits ran out. That's still a pain, but yet I'm really happy, and I don't really know why, except possibly it's this, right? Hightail came out. I've been playing that. The channel is picking up. Of course, I kind of think that's just, usually the channel takes a slump at Christmas and then bounces back a bit. I'm having fun with my different series and the different games I'm playing, and even knowing things are tough for the family, my wife seems to be supporting me and my decisions, and that is kind of a new thing. So I don't know. There's a whole lot of things I could point at and say, oh, woe is me, and I'm upset and blah, 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 but I'm not doing that because I feel good. Something's off. This should divide out into sections of 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then it's like I'm one block. I'm missing a block, right? I mean, what I'll do to fix it, I'll fix it later. But I mean, we'll just move the tomato plants next to the melons to keep the melons from growing this way. It's okay. Anyway, I'm feeling good about the future, and it's interesting because I haven't felt like this in a long time. I haven't felt this way since I was last employed. So good. And even though all these things are happening, you might think I feel like things are out of control, but in truth, I think maybe the reason I'm feeling happy is, the things I enjoy are happening, keep me happy, and the things that I don't enjoy or are problems are, in fact, under control. I think I have a lid on them. So, yeah, it includes finding a job. I had a fantastic talk with a recruiter yesterday, and about 3 different positions, actually. So, we'll see how that goes. And it's all stuff that is squarely in my wheelhouse. So it would be not just fun to get back to work, but I could actually hit the ground running and rock and roll and do good things. And there you go. But Anyway. Oh, it goes there. Okay. Yeah, now what? Let's see. So this is empty, right? So everything's put away properly. Are there any seeds here that I'm not growing? I mean, let's see. The warped grape seeds. We can try to grow that. And let's see, some of these flowers. I can't do anything with wild nettle. Pink clover, I can't do anything with. Dandelions, I can do something with. So let me grab some of those. I only have one azure bluet, so hold on. And the pink daffodils, I can do stuff with. Then I will need some grass seeds. Got plenty of that. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll take the pink daffodils and the grass seeds and make pink daffodil seeds. Do the same thing with the dandelions. And then I can throw these seeds back into storage. And now let's go grow some more stuff. That guy. That guy. Now, at one time, I had 2 guys in there, and then they both disappeared. Heaven knows where. I don't know if they despawned. I don't know if they walked out the door. I don't know if they got killed. If they just were stopping by and moving on. I don't know. They didn't leave a note. A little inconsiderate. But if they would have left a note, I don't know how I could read. I'm not fluent in villagerese. Though, when I was in Air National Guard, one of my good friends, Tom, was from Brooklyn, and he had a thick Brooklyn accent. I can't grow this in dirt, so let me see if I can't grow it in farmland. Let's see if I can grow it in dirt. Nope. So I think I'll probably need like a netherrack or soul sand. We'll grab those. Anyway, Tom had a thick Brooklyn accent, and we hung out a lot. We played Magic the Gathering and stuff like that, and D&D. I just got used to his accent, right? I can understand what he says, and so sometimes when we're like at work in the guard, or I'm hanging out with friends, and he says something, and other people go, "What'd he say?" And I have to translate for him, right? It's like, what he said is this. It was just fun. Tom's also the guy when I first. I had worked with him for like about 6 months, and then at the air, in the garden reserve, you do 1 weekend a month and then 2 weeks out of the year. But we couldn't do our 2 weeks at the normal time, so we both had to schedule our 2 weeks at a time when the rest of the unit wasn't there, and so we were working together at that time, directly. And so I got to really get to know him. That's how he became my friend. And I remember the first day, he's like, "Hey, it's lunchtime. You want to go do something for lunch?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What do you want?" He goes, "I love pizza. I'm like, "Oh, I love pizza. I love pizza too. So what do you want on it? You want like pepperonis, mushroom, olives?" And he's like, "No, just cheese." And it's like, "What?" I mean, this guy was telling me how much he loved pizza. I thought he was like this big pizza guru and stuff. Could tell me all these, great times. No. He just wants cheese pizza. Yeah. And it's funny too, because like he's not into condiments or sauces, right? So, if we went someplace and they had barbecue ribs, he would like try to see if they could get the ribs without the sauce, right? And the reason I laugh at that is because that was me until I was like 16, right? Then when I was 16, I discovered like barbecue sauce and ranch sauce and dressing, and I went crazy. And to this day, I'm still into all the sauces and stuff, and pizza with toppings. So Anyway, Tom, if you're hearing this, love you, man. You're awesome. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm gonna have to do with that. I suspect I'm gonna have to get like in the Nether they have I forget the name of it, but it's basically the spongy blocks of it's not a soil, it's more like a big block of squished fungus, right? There's a blue version and a red version, and I think I'll probably need to get the that. Oh, there now. Is this a new group, or did the other group come back? Man, this is like, you know, animals staring each other down on the plains of the Serengeti. Do I run? I don't want to kick off the siege, so I'm just gonna go out the back door. And do my thing, man. What I want to do is I want to get on my horse and go to where we will be digging out the central core, because I mean I need a lot of dirt, and I know that I'm going to remove a whole lot of dirt. Yes, we'll be making a hole anyway. And this is my completely not fast horse. Anyway, I'm gonna have to come up with a name for this horse, and I think I'm gonna call him Pokey, because he is Pokey, almost the same color as Pokey. If you don't know who Pokey is, I suggest that you go to the internet and look up Gumby and Pokey. They were pretty popular when I was a kid. But then again, you know, so were, you know, muskets and ships with sails on them. So, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So we want to go dig out the central core for New Londinium, and I'm going to have to do that sooner or later. And you know, the first step would be to remove the dirt layer, the topsoil. And then we'll start digging through the rock. And it's going to be a phenomenal amount of dirt, right? I mean, we're talking the whole city is going to be a 1 kilometer circle. Well, 1 kilometer in Minecraft is a lot of space, and then all that soil, that's probably millions, at least hundreds of thousands of dirt blocks. So let me go tie the horse up, because Minecraft and horses have a tendency to go on vacation when you're not riding them. Okay. Tie that there. And see how this goes. So we're just trying to keep this neat and organized, somewhat. Excavate enchantment really helps here. If I had to do these all 1 block at a time for a city that's a kilometer wide, we probably wouldn't do that, or we'd have a totally different format. But this works. This works for me. Hopefully it works for you. Anyway, so I've one of the things I've noticed is in Hightail you can jump 2 blocks up, right? And you can climb 3, and with the right approach and some skill, you can climb 4 blocks up. And you'd be surprised at how quickly you get used to that, right? Then I come back to Minecraft, where that's all verboten, and oh man, you feel the pain. So here we go. Oops. Did it again. Yeah, there's a huge hole down here. Now, eventually that hole, that just saves us a lot of work, actually, because we would have had to dig it out anyway. And when you see me like bouncing up and down because I can't go up a 2-block space, you know, it's my hightail brain is already acclimated. And you know, I'll just give them a free plug here. You know, if you enjoy these types of games, if you enjoy Minecraft in any way, shape, or form, I think you should really give the guys at Hightail give them a chance. Take it, you know, at least watch some of the videos and look and see what they're doing. And if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Okay, let's grab just a little bit more. I suspect no matter how much dirt I have at this point for this project, I'll think it's enough, and it won't quite be enough, but just, I have a sneaking suspicion. Okay. Sucking up the dirt. Now, I think that can we do a little more, I guess? Like I said, I don't think we'll have a problem with too much dirt. I think we're gonna run out, but we'll see. Okay, starting to get afternoony, so let's mosey on back home. Hop on Pokey here. Guess Pokey's more of a draft horse, I'm guessing. Okay, so we're mobile again. Kinda. That sheep scared me for a minute. Again, a Hightail flashback. I thought it was a bear. Minecraft sheep really don't look like bears, but brown ones kind of, sort of do. And I need to finish this road, and you know that includes adding retaining walls where appropriate and stuff like that. And we got to take apart twin spires, especially because squatters keep moving in, and we need to take care of that. But if you didn't hear before, I think I figured out where the squatters are coming from. One of the mods we use are villager recruits, and villager recruits will occasionally spawn parties of villager recruits. Now, usually they're patrols made up all of fighters, but sometimes they are caravans. And when they spawn as caravans, they will have a bunch of fighters, but they'll also have a couple villagers and some pack mules. And when eventually the the fighters will despawn if nothing happens to them. But my pillagers are gone. Good. But the villagers don't, and so they're kind of like let loose into the wild. And villager behavior is they start wandering to the closest bed, right? And I think that's what's happening here. Is I have a bed, because I need one. But so they come into my house, and it's like, hey, Nobody said make yourself at home. I mean, I don't mind so much. Okay, it says starter tier. I'm pretty sure that means copper. I wish it gave me the actual material. You need to go on an iron hunt and start expanding the upgrades in the backpack. Anyhow, this should definitely help us get going here. Okay, let's do it. We need to build outwards and upwards now. This wall is going to have a retaining wall, and the new level will be at the level I'm putting in now. Right, it's going to be like a terraced garden type of thing. That's Terrace, you know, Terrace, not terrorist. I don't know what a terrace garden would be anyway. It would definitely be interesting, I guess. But I think I got. Yes, I do have some of this deep slate tiles. This is what we'll build the wall from. So we'll start the wall. Don't have enough to finish it, obviously. Okay, so now we just plop down dirt. So I don't know how things are where you're at, but we've had a very weird winter. It hasn't been, you know, when we were going into this winter, they were telling us that it was going to be a big snow year, and we, not only did we not get snow, we've had some record-breaking high temperatures. Doesn't mean it's hot. It just means it's much warmer than it's supposed to be. There's been sometimes the past few weeks I've gone outside and felt like it was spring, right? Which always concerns me because when we have like early autumns or late autumns or early springs, late springs, I'm always worried about the trees, right? Because it throws them for a loop. They, you know, sometimes their leaves will change early, and then we'll have a nice warm Indian summer, and the trees are like not able to take advantage of it because they already dropped their leaves, or we have a really early spring, and you know over on the other side of the state they grow a lot of apples. I'm sure you heard that Washington grows a lot of apples, and apples need a snap of cold weather, especially pears too. They need a snap of cold weather for them to properly grow the next season. And if we have a warm winter or a mild winter, you might have a really bad apple crop, right? So yeah, it's but the thing that concerns me most, right? I mean, we've gotten a phenomenal amount of rain, and I know I've discussed this in other videos, right? Because it doesn't rain here as much as you think it does. Everyone says, "Oh, you know, Pacific Northwest, it always rains." Yeah, it doesn't always rain. What it always does is always cloudy and misty and drizzly, right? So everything's always damp, but we don't get like a lot of water, right? So everything does stay green, but if you want, you know, you look at places like New York City, they get more actual rain than we do. Now, there's places in the Pacific Northwest that they get a crazy amount of rain, but usually that's more toward the coast, so they get hit with all that rain, and by the time it gets to the rest of the Pacific Northwest, it's just that damp, drizzly weather. So when we do get rain, when we do get a lot of rain, it causes problems for us, especially because like in the greater Seattle area, it's all hilly, right? And so the rain rushes, and you know, the drainage sometimes isn't up to it, so badness ensues. But the big problem we've had this year is that we've had so much rain so close together, the ground got absolutely saturated. It got to the point where the ground couldn't hold any more water. And so that compounded everything I just said. But more to the point, with saturated ground, you know, it's loose. It's loosey-goosey. And we've had all sorts of landslides and stuff like that. I mean, it's really bad. There's, you know, where we live, there's basically two major ways to go across the Cascade Mountains eastward. And one of those, 54 miles of it was washed out and unusable. So, you know, everybody was stuck going the other way, which is a major interstate. That the other one is the one that survived was a major interstate. So it probably, but it did have some landslides that go across it. So that, oops. I didn't want to. Oh, there we go. So, and you know, it's been bad. And where I was originally headed with all this is, so we have a phenomenal amount of water in the area, and rivers have been flooding and all that jazz. And so, but we, you know, that gives us plenty of water to work with. So yay! Except that in a lot of places, you know, it's not just the water that comes down, but also the water that stays in the mountains. It's snow, right? Snowpack, because that's essentially like a water savings account. And then when things start to warm up during the spring and summer, that snow melts and it starts flowing down, and then you're getting an automatic withdrawal of water from your savings account, right? The problem we have is because this has been such a warm winter, or mild winter, we don't have nearly as much snow in the mountains as we normally would. And I think we're at like 70% or something like that. I mean, that's decent, but it's not usual. So even when we got all this water, it won't all be here come August. And if the mountains don't get a lot more snow soon, we might have a lot less water in August than we normally would anyway. On a related note, I heard that California, for the first time in 25 years, is completely out of drought status, right? 25 years, at least some part of California's drought, and oftentimes the whole state was. And for the first time in 25 years, because, you know, the same atmospheric rivers that have been drenching us have been drenching them. And they are not known for rain. So, but they're in pretty good shape. But and you know, their reservoirs, I think, are like 125 or 135% capacity. So yay. And that's important because you know, we drove through California a couple of years ago, and I remember like some of the, like we went, we were coming down out of the mountains from Mount Shasta and headed toward the Bay Area, and the river, right? They had there's a river and a reservoir on that river, and you know, you could see the marina was like a half mile from the water. You know, it had receded that far. So now I'm sure those boaters are happy again, and you know, everything's cool. But their snowpack's been impacted too. I think it's the same deal, like 70%. So you know, climate change, weirdness. Anyway, I don't know what set me off on that. I'm not one for like talking about the weather, but you know, go with what you go. Or that doesn't make sense. Go with what you know. I'll go with that. Oh, did it again. Anyway, so yeah, I'm happy. I'm jazzed. Jazz. So we'll see. Now next week I might be singing a different tune. You know, maybe some of these big issues don't work out as well as I think they will, or as they tend to be trending now. And then I may be unhappy again, but I don't know. I'm generally optimist. Glass is half full. I mean, what can they do? Take away my birthday? So, and most of the time I forget my birthday anymore anyway, right? I mean, once you have enough birthdays, you know. Besides, you know, your birthday really isn't for you to make a big deal of. It's really for others to make a big deal of. And, you know, when you get really old, you know, there's the dead zone, right? So when you're young, your birthday is a big deal, and they have a party and your friends and a piñata and whatever. And then as you get older, your birthday becomes less and less important, and people forget more often. They don't make a big deal. Maybe they do nothing. And then when you get old enough, your birthday becomes a big deal again, because it's like, you're still alive? Wow. Okay, happy 75th, right? And you know, I'm not there yet. Not there yet, but we'll see. Like, I had my 50th birthday. I thought that would be a big deal, but no. Nobody made a big deal out of it. Hey, half a century, man. So, a couple of years for my 60th. I don't know if that'll be a big deal. So, we'll see. I remember, I used to work at this place, and my boss told me, like, when he had his 50th birthday, he treated himself. He went on a trip just by himself. You know, family and kids stayed home, and he went to I think he went to Jamaica. He went to one of the Caribbean islands, and he just hung out and enjoyed himself. Right now, I was thinking about that, and it's like, first of all, if you know anything about me, I would probably never ever go on a trip unless it's weird circumstances, like, you know, my mom died or something. I wouldn't go on a trip without the rest of my family. Secondly, it's pretty clear that if I went on a trip without the rest of my family, what I would do is I would probably grab a hotel room in the town I live, and I would just hang out in the hotel room and play computer games all day, or read, or nap, or do whatever I want to do all day. Because, you know, my days, I make a lot of videos, and people go, "Oh, you must be playing a lot." Yeah, I am. In between, you know, cooking breakfast and dinner for the kids, and carting the kids to school, and my wife to the store, and then, you know, all the other stuff I got to do, like, you know, the trash and the maintenance around the house, and then looking for a job. You know, if I was going to go on a vacation by myself, I would just go someplace local, but then I would have the time to myself. That would be the treat. Sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? Well, I am kind of weird, so deal with it. I did it again. So these pink hibiscus are, yeah, yes, they need to move over one. So let's kill this row and move it over one. Like that. Okay. And I guess you don't get extra seeds, so you'll have to make them out of the fruits of your labor, so to speak. And I'm 3 short. Okay. So this is fleshing out pretty well, though the sugar cane is taking its sweet time, but I suspect that's because of the Serene Seasons mod. Sugar cane's not really an early spring type crop. I mean, it's a tropical crop, so it doesn't normally follow seasons, but I'm sure in this temperate zone it's going to want a little bit warmer weather. And I just realized that I'd been grabbing crops and stuff and gaining experience points without actually using those experience points to heal something. So I put my shovel in my offhand, so it will benefit from this. It's a lot of onions. Let's go with potatoes. Yep. And you know, there's when you play games like this, there's something about like just taking care of stuff like you would at home. Like they tell you, you know, gardening is great for like lowering your blood pressure. I mean, staying active. Keeping a Minecraft garden does not count as being active, but it does lower your blood pressure and stuff. Just like they say, like having a pet will lower your blood pressure and create all sorts of endorphins and blah blah blah. Well, then they did study and found out that doing the same thing with a digital pet would also. I'm not gonna take all of them. I'm just gonna take half, and the other half will compost. So having doing stuff in the digital space, if it's an activity that would normally produce chemical reactions in your brain in real life, it will also produce similar chemical reactions in your brain while you experience it virtually. And I think that's because recently I was talking to a guy, and he watches my my Mostly Satisfactory series, which has now been deprecated. That announcement went out yesterday, but that's a factory automation game, right? And he's real big in it. He's really good at it too. But he's aware of Minecraft, and he's aware of Hytale, and he knows it's out there. He just doesn't understand the appeal. I mean, why do people play games like this? And I think what he's missing is exactly what I just said, right? Is that people get the same satisfaction from doing stuff in the digital space that they would in the non-digital space. So if people like the idea of like building a little house and interior decorating it the way they like it, and having a little garden and taking care of the garden, and having some pets and taking care of some pets, then if they like doing that in real life, they're going to like doing that in the digital space. So I think if I harvest this, I got two. Can I break them for seeds? Yes. Okay. So I thought it gave you 3 seeds. Okay. It's more than 3 seeds. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, we got some of this. And it's important that the digital space can serve as a proxy for the real thing, because a lot of people live in places and circumstances where they wouldn't have access to the real thing. You live in a tight little apartment in New York City. Yeah, growing a garden, out the window. You're not going to be able to do that. And like going on a trip into the mountains, experiencing the forest, that's going to be pretty hard to ever do. And yet in the digital space, you can do it every day, right? And now with like the shaders and stuff, I mean, look at this. I got the sun, I got the shadows, it's a beautiful sunny outside. Actually, it's a beautiful sunny day, so this kind of shoots my theory in the foot. But normally this time of year, it would be miserable, wet, and cold outside, and yet here I'm sitting looking at this beautiful sunshiny scene of growing things, and there you go. Next time around, I would like to finish this place for the trees, and then we need to go tree shopping, because I'm pretty sure I've got some of the basics, but there's some of the basics I don't have, and of course there's just all the stuff from the other mods that I would like to get a hold of to start adding to our palette. And then I think we could go back to working on the road and taking apart Twin Spires and moving forward with the actual excavation of New Londinium. But that's all in the future. For now, this is where we're at. I think it's good progress. It's looking better and better all the time. My little island of civilization in a ragweed-infested wilderness. But I hope you come back and see where we go from here. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, I hope this finds you and yours in good health, good spirits, and perhaps a touch of good fortune. Cheers.